Why do 99% of beer lovers follow Shagdog and Jammer? Because they're hoptastic. Today, our dynamic duo dives into brewtastic madness. Will they sip, savor, and salute? Or will they spit, sputter, and say, what the hops just happened? Join us for a frothy frenzy of flavors, fizz, and fun. Buckle up, beer buddies. This review is going to be ale-mazing. Cheers to the unexpected.
Hey, welcome to Spiritual Beer Review. I'm Jammer. Shagdog had to go Betty bye. So here I am by myself and diving deep. I got this one that I've been holding on to. It's from 2023. Big Bad Baptist Brewmasters Keep Imperial Stout aged in whiskey barrels. Now, this one gets a 93 by the BA. It's 14.1% alcohol. And it says here that Epic's cellar team has over a decade of experience perfecting world-class barrel-aged beer. What you're holding in your hand was obsessed over for 12 months prior to bottling. The base beer of this brew is the highest gravity beer ever brewed at Epic. Using only choice bourbon barrels and in-house techniques, we have crafted a beer with flavors only attainable through true craftsmanship. Savor the experience. So, I am willing to do that. Willing to jump in and savor the experience. So, let's just go ahead and do that. Ooh, it spit at me. All right. Let's give this a pour. Just a little bit of a head there. Not much. It is dark, boy. Let me tell you. That is like, well, deep, dark, ominous, alluring. It just sits in that glass, and it's got a rich, black abyss-looking. It reflects no light. There's no light coming on the edges there at all. Nothing is there, and a nice. It's thin, not thick, brown head, tan head. That's kind of slowly dissipating. It may have been thin, but it's slow to dissipate. So we'll just go ahead and keep on diving down here. Oh man. My oral factory senses, man, are hit. Man, this is very deep, rich, dark, decadent aromas of dark chocolate, roasted coffee. Mingling with like notes of toasted coconut and vanilla and just a hint of bourbon. It's if it's like if Willy Wonka's chocolate factory collided with a high-end coffee roasting facility, a roastery or whatever they call it. And then the whole thing was aged in a bourbon barrel for good measure. You know, it's just like all of a sudden it collided with this coffee place and landed in Jack Daniel's bourbon barrels or something. You know, man, it smells sweet. It smells dark. I'm ready to dive into this. Let me just go ahead and. I forgot to put it on there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's just dive in. Cheers, people. Enjoy. But like I said, hold on. Like I said, it is 14.1% alcohol. Yes, 14.1%. And I'm diving in. I've had 14 before, but uh, it's always an enjoyable task to try these and see if they can mask the alcohol very well and how the flavors are all uh, mingling together. So cheers. Hmm. Hmm. Surprisingly easy to drink. I have to tell you, Epic has been epic. They've been epic at having it to where the alcohol, the booziness, isn't overbearing. It's very easy to drink. Yes, is there booziness there? Yeah, there is a little booziness to it. But man, ah, it's surprisingly smooth, easy to drink. Only a slight warming at all. It's very velvety. Um, it's not for the faint-hearted. Has nice chocolate and coffee, like espresso, layers of roasted malt, and that warming embrace of that bourbon, and hints of toasted coconut and vanilla. It's just right there, and it tastes so nice with that chocolate espresso flavors. And the closest thing it reminds me of is like a Mounds or Almond Joy, um, with the toasted coconut and the vanilla and the chocolate notes from there. And it just balances the sweetness, and it has like a lingering note of oak and booze that just reminds you that beer is as big and bad as its name suggests. It is big, bad, bold, beautiful. Um, I'm telling you, it is something else to be drinking. I'm sure PA Brew would probably enjoy this one. At least I would hope so, that I would be correct in assuming that. If he's ever tried it, I don't know if he ever has had it. These guys, they are out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And if you get a chance, you should try these Epic Brewing beers. They are amazing. So rich in flavors, and alcohol contents have been high on most of the ones that I've tried, but they mask the alcohol so well. And like I said, this is a 14.1% alcohol. And if I remember in saying this, see, uh, BA gives it a 93, an outstanding. And so, uh, yeah. And it is something else. I'm sipping this because I couldn't just guzzle this. This is one of these beers you get and you sit by the fireside or a bonfire with friends and everything, and you just take a sip. You're just enjoying it. Sip the beer, and that's it. You know, this probably been my last beer for the day, just because of the high alcohol content, and I don't want to overdo it because I'm going to have to go to work in the morning, and I don't want to go too far because I got to get to bed early. Because I got to get up really early. But man, very rich coffee, chocolate, espresso type notes to it with the toasted coconut and the vanilla. It's just right there with those flavors, and it's just very easy to drink. It's amazing. Brewmasters Keep. Big Bad Baptist. Epic Brewing. You get a chance to try any of Epic Brewings, you should try it. Amazing. Got some lacing going on the sides. I think lace is waste, but it for a lot of people they like the look of it, and it has a nice lacing. Yeah, not for the faint of heart for sure because it is up there. Yeah, Sammy Claus used to be the one beer out there that was the highest alcohol content for a long time. And if I remember correctly, let's see, Claus beer, um, Sammy Claus beer was what 14%. Yeah, so um, this is 14.1. So they just go over the little bit. And what's amazing is Sammy Claus, right? That's a Doppelbock, and it gets a 90. Granted, it's a different style of beer, so you can't really compare the two, but the alcohol content is comparable. And that to me is amazing in itself. It's 14% for a Doppelbock. This is Imperial Stout. Um, two different type of beers, two different flavors, drastic flavors. I mean, but same alcohol content. Granted, they've come out with other beers now that are really high in alcohol content. Really high now instead of what they used to be. But I think the highest one, let's see, highest ABV beer. Um, Snake Venom by Brewmaster Meister is 67.5% alcohol content. Yeah. And then coming up behind that at 65 is Armageddon by Brewmeister. I'm interested in finding out if PA Brew News has ever tried any of these beers because I don't remember seeing anything that he hearing that he's tried it or had it. I could be wrong. He could have had them. He does like high alcoholic kind of beers, but Utopias by Samuel Adams is usually like over 20%, I think it is, ABV. So that's not even that high compared to the others, and yet it's very expensive beer. The End of History by Brewdog's 55. So I guess Snake Venom is the world's strongest beer. Rich malty sweetness, notes of caramel, dark fruits, and alcohol warmth. It is an experience you won't forget. I would be interested in trying it. That's the crazy thing. I would be interested in trying it just to give it a shot. Man, very delicious, very easy, very enjoyable. I don't have anything really exciting to say other than I'm going to give my grade on this, and I will give this. Man, I'm going to have to tell you, this beer. I think I'm going to give this a. Man, it's so easy. Nice bitterness to it. Man, I don't know if I want to give it that high. I'm going to give it an A. Straight up A. I was lingering on A plus, but leaning on that side, but I'm going to give it an A. And I'm going to give it a swallow and a quarter because it's that easy to drink. I'm amazed because something that has high alcohol content usually is harder to drink. Doesn't hide the alcohol well usually, and this one, it's easy to drink, hides the alcohol very well. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a and a swallow and a quarter. Yep, swallow and a quarter. Turn the light away from it. Maybe it will, no, that doesn't help. Yeah, I got my Schoolhouse Rock shirt. Of course, the yellow is messing up with the green screen. Oh well. Yeah, man. What I hate about doing beer reviews during the day is that a lot of times you don't get uh, your 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 group of people, your fans out there, or new people that would join in because they're at work, and it's sad to say, but it's true. They're usually at work, and so you can't really do beer reviews during that period. It just is, you know. Now that I gave my grade, I don't have much to talk about. Yeah, we're on 17 minutes, so yeah, it's gonna be a long beer for me. Um, Very enjoyable. Epic Brewing has just been something else. I'm really impressed by them, and I have to tell you, I really like the fact that they are able to take these beers and make them to where the alcohol, the booziness of it is not all that uh, prevalent. I mean, yes, it's there, but it's not. If you get somebody who didn't have the technique or the skill and expertise and experience of being able to brew a beer that could mask that alcohol content, then you would end up with a really crappy tasting beer, and or a really sweet beer. There's beers that are like dreadfully sweet because the alcohol content's so high. They try to sweeten it up and everything. And this is sweet, but it isn't sickly sweet like some of the beers that I've had that didn't even have as high a alcohol content as this. But they try to mask it, and so they make it super sweet and everything, and it comes sickly, and it doesn't taste good. This one though, very well masked, not overly sweet, not sickly sweet. It's sweet, but not bad, and the flavors mingle together really well. And I'm starting to feel the effects of it already. Yeah, very enjoyable, very easy to drink. I'm impressed by it. If you get a chance, try it. Let us know what you think of it. If you have any questions about it, leave some comments down below or shoot it either on Facebook or on YouTube. Let us know, and we'll try to respond to you. It's amazing the quality of beers that are out there right now. It is something else. I was just talking to somebody the other day, a good friend actually, about how craft brewing um, came about, and it really kind of started, if you really think about it, around the late 80s, early 90s. They started coming about right then, some of the pioneers. And they started crafting beers and doing their own thing and all that stuff. And then slowly, it the movement gained momentum. People got sick of these mass-produced beers with no flavor and everything, and they were longing for this flavor. And a few breweries out there stepped up to it. Some of the small breweries started doing it. You know, they were brewing just regular beers, and then they started embracing doing some of the crafty stuff, the IPAs and the stouts, the porters and everything. You know, they were doing the sour ale and all that. And granted, the IPAs came in full of rich flavors, bitterness, wonderful taste, and everything. And it really took a hold, and people started loving it. Which, in general, most of the lagers and the mass-produced beers, they had those flavors in them, but they were very faint. So now you're getting some of the same flavors that you were getting that was so weak and watered down and faint, to where they're big, bold, massive, and impressive, and they're taking, you have to take a bite out of them, kind of like flavors. And it has slowly gotten more and more and more to where IPAs are ruling the roost right now. And a lot of the sour ales are coming up now because people are the brewers are venturing out into these categories, and the stouts have become bigger and bold, and porters have become more bold and everything, full of rich flavors and stuff. And it's amazing to see how the movement is kind of taken place. And now we're getting to this like zenith, this pinnacle of these rich, bold, and beautiful flavors. I hope it's not the end. I hope we actually continue to go higher, or level out and maintain for many more years to come. Because who wants to have a beer with no flavor? Granted, a light beer, there's light beers out there that has no flavor. But there are some of these craft brews that are light beers that are rich in flavor still, not overbearing or anything, and can be considered a lawnmower type beer. And they're enjoyable, and they're not too expensive in comparison to the mass produced ones. That's my other thing. You got these mass produced breweries, these macro breweries that just keep consolidating. Look what happened to Anheuser-Busch. They became so big that they turned around and sold out to InBev. InBev turns around and takes them over. Well, InBev owns them. They own Modelo. They own, God, they own almost all. Anheuser bought Kugels. They bought several other small breweries during the time period that they were on their own. They were buying up all these small breweries, eliminating competition to where they're making the money. And then InBev got them. So a lot of the small breweries that you think you're buying beer from, they're really owned by some of these big behemoths of brewing companies. And it's sad. A lot of lacing on that glass. Looks pretty good. I'm not a big fan of it, but hey, it's there. Yeah, I think this is going to be my last one for today. I appreciate everybody watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Shag Dog and I, we don't do it for everybody. We do it for ourselves a lot, and for the beer, for the general, We like to try new and different beers. We like to have an excuse to buy beer and try them. Beer review gives us an excuse. And when we were hanging out together and physically being able to hang out together and everything like that. It was a great thing to do that we did in between things. We would go bowling and biking and all these other different things that we do, go in concerts, all this shit. We did a lot of different things on the outside before doing. We used to go karaoke all the time, singing and all that stuff at the bar and everything. It was an excuse for us to get together with our friends, hang out, have a great time together, and just enjoy each other's company. And on top of that, we were drinking beer, and yeah, that was fun too. But I would have had fun even if we weren't drinking beer. And I think Shag Dog would have too. The beer is just something that it's not a crutch, but I think it just causes us to be more inspired, more creative, more bold, and crazy and fun. Um, but like I said, we did that for many years, joined it together and all that stuff until he moved out and moved away. Uh, and I turned around and moved off too. I moved away, came back. I still tried to maintain a connection by coming back up and visiting and going karaoke with him and all that stuff. But granted, the computer, internet, being able to do beer reviews on the internet has been a way to still have a connection with my best friend, and I have to say he has been a joy to hang out with and everything. He makes me laugh, and and who doesn't need a friend that makes you laugh? I don't know. I know the women that I've been involved with over the years, they all said the same thing. I can't believe y'all are friends, but you know what? He makes you laugh. You enjoy his company, so you know they they liked him. So uh, that's the key. If you're a likable person to begin with, and then on top of that, you can make people laugh. It's fun. Life's too short. Life's too hard in a lot of ways. If life is easy, then especially for these people, life is easy for you, then I don't I said God bless you, but most people life is hard. Life is not a fun ride in a lot of ways, and so why not have some fun when you can? Is what I say. In general, you can't focus on the negative and everything, but it's there. You acknowledge it. You move on. You don't dwell on it. And you don't invest a lot of energy, emotional energy, into something that's not giving you anything back in return. Me doing beer reviews with Shag Dog and everything gives me a little bit of energy back. I mean, it it spurs me on to continue going down life's road. And so when I do it with people, friends, and everything, if you like Jammer Fan, PA, and all them, yes, I would love to be hanging out with y'all guys, K, Jeff G, and a bunch of others. I would love to hang out with you guys, even if we weren't drinking beer. I think that we could hang out and have a fun time because I get your sense of humor, and if you get ours, you're already there. You know, that's the funny thing about it. If you get our sense of humor and you can talk and everything and hang out, you're already there. You know what we're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I think KA, one of the newest people that jumped on board, I think that he knows it because shit, he said he is embracing. We're from the same time periods and everything. And granted, you don't have to be from the same time period because I got friends that are 15 years younger than me. 15, 20 years younger than me, and they enjoy my company and everything. Same thing with Shag Dog. They enjoy our company and all that stuff. So it's not about the age per se, but more so with people that are around the same age. You have commonalities in there. Things that you can touch on. Like I can say something like, "Hey, you remember the Big Wheel? You remember Mr. Microphone? You remember watching reruns of Land of the Lost? Shit, what is G Force? Space Nuts, HR Puffin stuff. And those were reruns at the time that we were growing up. And so we have a connection with people younger than us. I mean, older than us, too, because they watched it. And then we have a connection, because we watched the reruns because of that. Different things like that. If you grew up in the 70s and in the 80s, then you experienced one of the last renaissances of movies and music, because it was a massive amount of talent moving through those years. And not so much today. It's like cookie cutter today. They're doing rehash and too 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 much computer generated, too much fake voice, with the auto tune and stuff like that. It's sad that people of true talent aren't as popular as they should be. I see people all the day. I hear people all the time that can sing songs like you cannot believe. They sound good on their own, and they can make a song their own and everything. But they'll never make it because they don't fit the particular image, or they don't have those type of morals that would get them in this situation where they would willingly sacrifice their integrity, their own morals for fame and fortune, which a lot of people today will give up almost anything just to be an influencer. But that's what it is today. So one thing I will say is, if you like the superficial, you like the fake, you like the mainstream cookie cutter image and the way of thinking, then you won't like the Spitter Swallow Beer Review. We are not them. We are our own unique and individuals with our own unique thoughts and the way of thinking. Yes, we can get to where we run down the road of different things, news and stuff like that. But mainstream, like the news in general, all right, news in general, they will push and push a story. They'll constantly repeat the same phrase over and over again. You won't know that if you're stuck on the same channel. You won't know that if you don't think on your own. And if you will embrace your switching channels, watching the channel that you don't like to watch, just to see their viewpoints, then you're open to hearing the opposition. You're open to another opinion. You're open to seeing somebody else's view, where you might think, "Oh, this is terrible," and this, that, and that, everything. This person might say, that got me out of suffering. That helped save my whole family from dying, and I was able to get a leg up and a foothold, and be able to go to school and do this. Now all of a sudden you hear them telling you, and you say, okay, it has helped somebody. So maybe I need to revisit and rethink this, because this program may be not as bad as I think it is, or wanted it to be. And then you look at the program and you say, well, what can we do to improve it to help more of these type of people who appreciate it and used it to get ahead in life instead of just relying on it through life. That's the kind of things I see. That's the kind of things I think Shag Dog thinks and everything. Me and Shag Dog don't have the completely same view on things. He thinks certain things shouldn't be done, and I think they should, and vice versa. But we respect each other's views and everything, and willing to listen to them and see and try to think, do I have a good point? That makes you think and think. And that's what the whole way the government and everything was set up here in America to be, to help you do these things. It's unfortunate that we've gotten away from that. It's unfortunate that all that's changed. It is what it is. Can't change it. Of course, I wish people would be more willing to listen and the things they don't like to hear. Here's the thing. As a kid, you don't like to be told no. You don't like to be told to do this or do that and everything. But as a kid, as you're growing up and everything, you realize that the person who said no to you, the person who said don't do that, the person who was constantly watching over you and telling you to do those things, were saying those things not because they were being mean, but because they loved you and they wanted to see the best for you and protect you. And you realize the person who was the fun person all the time, the fun, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's go over here, all that stuff, didn't give a shit about you. They were just chasing the good time. Or they just didn't give a crap, period, And most of the time what happens is kids that grow up with parents, one being the fun one and one being the disciplinary, actually start to realize when they get older and start to have children of their own and so forth, that the one that was saying don't do this and don't do that cared more, loved them more, and wanted to see the best for them. And then they have more respect for them and come back to them and say, you know what, I'm glad you were hard on me, or I'm glad that you gave me a spanking for this or that, because you know what, it caused me not to go down this route in life, and I went down this path instead, and that path was much better than this path could have led me to destruction, jail, death, you name it. And when I watch some of the news, I think to myself, these people, they make decisions, but they don't think that any of their decisions have a consequence, or might lead to something, and they think nothing of it. They don't see it. It's like a chess match. It's like a chess game. You're sitting there and you make a move. Well, your opposition, your opponent, they're going to make a move in reaction to that. Now, your opponent might be smarter than you and think 5 steps ahead of you, knowing if I make this move, then you're going to make this move. And then if you make this move, then I can make this move. But if you make this other move, I can make this other move. And so they're thinking 5 steps ahead of you on many different levels, because your decision to make this one go this way leads to this, or their decision to go this way leads to this, and so forth. So here you are about to make a decision, and they've already thought it through. So they know whatever you decide, this is how they're going to react. So you go this direction, they go this direction instead. And they know that's going to lead to your downfall, because you didn't think it through, you just reacted. And that's how a lot of things happen in life. People react, and people think through their actions. The people who think through their actions usually will win out in the end. And it may take a while, but they'll win out in the end. People who just make rash decisions, do things that don't have any rhyme, no reason, usually will end up failing. Sometimes they'll win. Don't get me wrong. There is the outlying factor that there's a few that will win. But the majority lose. And lose big. But that's it. Shit, I think I'm going to might do one more. I think I will do one more. One more beer and we're done, okay? So thanks for watching. Comment and like and subscribe and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Man, this is awesome. Take care, guys, gals, everything in between.
If you don't like warm beer but love a good joke, tune in to Shagdog and Jammer's Spit or Swallow Beer Review. From hops to hilarity, they've got it all. Subscribe now and never miss another sip or snicker. Cheers.